guys, and welcome back. As you know, we're working on this thing. I don't know what's new, what to expect on that. Today we're going to be doing cooling system, which is hoses, radiator, and fans are the other way around, and that's going to be going in here to replace this crusty busty old one right here, and these hoses. We're going to be putting in blue coolant. I already had this, a 50-50 mix, so I went and just got another thing of concentrate, because that way I can make more if needed, because you actually need a little over 2 gallons, so this will be plenty for me. Also, if you got one of these laying around, I highly suggest and recommend getting one of these. It's very easy for making, it's very nice for making this job go more smoothly. So without further ado, the first thing to do, obviously drain the coolant out of the car. There's a coolant, if you don't know, there's a coolant drain right there. You can kind of see it, that guy right there. Pop that loose and it'll start draining the coolant out. I have the carpal ramps right now to help kind of get some of the coolant out of the system. There's also a bleeder plug right there, which will help get coolant out as well. You want to get as much out as you, obviously you won't be able to drain the full block, and unless you're doing a full coolant flush, you don't need to. I'm gonna need to get as much as I can out because I am gonna be removing the hose from right here, and I'm gonna have to re-bleed the entire system, and I'll walk you through bleeding the system when we get to that point. So I'm gonna start ripping this thing out. Coolant's draining out. Just a heads up. So on that little, it's kind of reminds you of like a wing nut. There is a hole that's in the bottom. It's like a tube kind of deal. I don't know how that can represent. Okay, imagine this is coming off the radiator, right? Like this. Okay. The wing nut's on the end here. Right here, there's a hole in it, and the coolant drains out of there. So you're just unscrewing the wing nut until coolant starts coming out. If you unscrew it all the way out, it's going to run full stream out here, and it's going to hit the subframe and make a big mess. So just remember there's a hole here, and that's how the coolant comes out. Also, take the cap off, disconnect your overflow, wherever you have that. It'll let the coolant drain. Alright, so I went ahead and unboxed a little bit of it. I didn't pull the main radiator out yet, but there's the fan shroud. I like it. It's actually a pretty nice shape. The welds are not terrible. I'm here for it. The hoses are nice. I'm kind of concerned because I thought that these came with hose clamps. So I may have to reuse the old ones or find some ones that aren't terrible looking. So, at the moment, I did get the swag bag because I am sponsored by Mishimoto. So, if you're curious what's in the swag bag, which I was super curious, you get a koozie, one of the cool little hangy penguin air fresheners. You get 2 stickers. They look like this. There. Just a heads up though, I think their vinyl cutter, the strength of their vinyl cutter is a little high, so it 100% cuts through the backing, so they're kind of a pain to peel, but they look good. They're good quality. You get a nice little lanyard, and then these little pamphlets, which every piece you buy comes with pamphlets and comes with air freshener, which this is going to go in there because that smells like a 90s car. And this kind of has like it's kind of a peachy, citrusy smell. I don't know, whatever. So now let's get the radiator out and let's see how this gigantic thing looks. We've got, oh snap! See that? It's nice. So now we're gonna get everything put together, get that one out, and I guess I gotta find some clamps because I didn't get any new clamps. I kind of thought they came with clamps, but whatever. Yeah, so let's get into it. Oh yeah, not bad, not too shabby. This is the hardware. Knife's getting dull. Knife's getting a little dull. So I'm gonna assume that it goes bolt this washer. Nope, lied to you. Already lied, just like that. Crazy. That it's gonna go regular washer, lock washer, bolt. So something kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll just go in these little brackets that hopefully are the right thread pitch. There we go. Okay, so this is all here. I'm not sure what this is for. Not really sure, unless it's supposed to go on the edges. I don't really know. Like I don't know, whatever. I'm sure it's probably for the edges. Okay. Not too bad looking. Not too bad looking. So now we'll begin taking the old one out. So I'm not gonna, obviously not gonna film because I'm gonna need both hands, but essentially pop these brackets, take these brackets out, and then it literally just comes out. That's it. Also, just realized, I would assume these extra brackets up on top here are so you can use the OEM fan shroud if you so choose to use the OEM one. I would assume that's what that's for. So I'm gonna get this pulled out, get the old hose off, and then yeah, get everything put in and made look pretty. All right, it's out. This thing. It's still a decent radiator. It's just old, man. It's probably, I don't know. Was it 2023? Probably 8 years old, maybe. It's old. It's been through. It's had a life, so it's time to retire it. I'm gonna keep it to the side in case I ever need it for parts or in case any of the homies need it or anything like that. Same for the hoses. This is it. It's out. Now these are the little grommets that it's gonna go down into, which I'm gonna pull these out and put them on the radiator first so they go down easier. And those are your fan plugs right there. And that's it. And it just gets slipped down in. So we're gonna get at that. I gotta get the old clamps off these hoses though, which I hate using these, man. They're these. So I might take them off and try to clean them. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the old hoses off and get the clamps so they don't look awful, and then we'll come back. So just give me a minute, please. It's in. It looks really good though. It does look very good. But just heads up, couldn't find any information about this anywhere, but apparently it's a thing. So Mishimoto radiators, they set in the little cup, rubber cup that you saw earlier down here. And obviously that gives them some, a little bit of play. Apparently, they're kind of tall radiators, so they don't fit with the OEM brackets. So, BB Alliance, which is Caesar, he's a cool dude, he's an awesome guy, I've known him forever. They make brackets that are cut out here that allow the radiator to set. Now, I threw some washers under there just for test fitting purposes. It's 3 washers. If you don't want to cut, you need just, 1/4-inch washers. It'll be plenty, just 1/4 inch. Because these are just 10 mil, these are dress up bolts. But I'm probably going to cut this bracket. I'll do that off camera though, and then I'll remake them pretty and everything. They fit, but for now, it's on there, it's in. I also just took the OEM clamps and I sandblasted them and just gave them a good scuff with some Scotch-Brite. And I mean, they didn't look bad. I don't think it looks that bad. It works. But all the hoses are on, everything is hooked up all the way back. This one's not tight yet, I gotta tighten that up still. And then I'm gonna start the bleeding process. So I'm gonna get everything hooked up and finish putting everything together, and then I'll start filling with coolant and bleeding it, and I'll walk you guys through that. But you need your car on ramps. It's a Honda. You need your car on ramps to do this correctly. So give me 1 second. I have filled the system, squeeze the lines, get air out. There's definitely bubbles in the system, especially back here. That's where you're gonna find most of your bubbles. And then we'll be ready to start it here in a second. So like I said before, make sure your car's up on ramps. The trick with bleeding a Honda is you literally put it on ramps, and the front of mine's aired up right now, which makes things really convenient. But you want it up, kind of like we won't talk about that. Turn the heater all the way up. Turn the fans all the way up. You want it to be where it's max heat, max fan blowing. Start the car, let it idle. It just needs to idle, and it'll get up to operating temp like this, open, and then the bubbles will slowly work their way out until they come up through. So I'm gonna just make sure I get a little bit more air out of the system before I start it. And I'm gonna wipe off the headers that I did, because if I get a freaking fingerprint on those, I'm gonna be real mad. And this as well. Then I'm gonna start it. So let me do that real fast, and then I'll get to starting it and then walk you guys through that step as well. All right, so coolant's there, everything's good. I checked the system. Also wiped the header off and everything like I said I would. So now, next step, heat all the way up, heater all the way on. Make sure it's not in gear, we'll do that. Start the car. That's it. Make sure it's all, heat's on, all the way up, everything. And now, as this goes, it's gonna start bleeding the system out. I didn't know this fell in, that's really annoying. It's gonna start bleeding the system, and magically the air is gonna start, it's gonna start to work correctly. You just kind of gotta let it do its thing. As air goes through the system, another trick you can do is back here, the bleeder screw, you can crack that loose, and while you're filling the radiator, and it'll let the air come out, and then all of a sudden it's just gonna up out of the coolant, or out of that bleeder screw, and tighten that back up, and they'll let you know that most of your air got through your system and you've got coolant in your system correctly. Now you just want to let it idle and warm up. It'll get up to operating temp, and once it's to that point, we're going to crack the bleeder screw open again and let some air come out. And you're going to get coolant everywhere. It's just what's going to happen. Just make sure you clean it up, especially if you live in an area that you have animals around you. Make sure you clean up your coolant, because if not, you're a dick, and I mean that. So I'm just going to do its thing, and then we're going to get air out, and then I'm going to crack the bleeder screw again, get some coolant out, and then yeah, and then we'll be good to go. So let's see how this goes. Alright guys, that's it. That's all there is to it. I'm letting it just idle for quite some time, just so I can make sure I get all the air out, because air in the coolant is about, I would say, 90% of the reason that Hondas have the surge is because there's air in the coolant. So just let it bleed for as long as you need to. Make sure the fans kick on, which I'm waiting for the fans to kick on, because it's a nice day out today and it's cool under here, and I have the blue coolant in it, and it's actually keeping the temps down, and I'm kind of amazed. Plus aluminum radiator helps keep temps down as well. So I'm really just waiting for the fans to kick on, and then that's it, I'm done. So I'm just gonna end it here because that's all I got. So the next video, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. We'll see what happens, but I'll see you guys then. Later.